Hello there. Today I'm going to be going through a common block of code that I use in JavaScript, and that is finding the index of a clicked element that has the same class name as all of those other children within that parent or within that container. So if we look here, I'm going to use a UL as the parent element, and then 5 allies with the class name item, as you see here. And for the JavaScript block of code, we're going to get those ally elements with a query selector. We'll call this variable item. Query selector all, and then getting that class name. And what we want to use is a for each. And that goes through, this for each goes through all of these allies that have the same class name. Then we're going to assign an onClick function to each of those allies, where if it's clicked, we want to display the index. So how to get the index is using this code where we assign a constant of index with square bracket this dot parent element dot children. So breaking this code down, this is the ally that's being clicked. Then parent element gets to the UL, and then children is just a general code where it goes, it's scanning through all of these allies within that UL. Then we use .index of, where if any of these scanned values match with the value that's being clicked, then it will give us that index. So we can just give each of these values the index it should be outputting, as you can see on the left side here. So if we click on 0, it alerts us 0. If we click on 3, it alerts us 3. So that's all working correctly. But I want to show you a different type of example where if there's a div, if there's a div that is wrapping over the child, so I'm using buttons in this case, but if in using this UL example, if there was a div wrapping over the ally, go back to these buttons, and there's an outer container of another div. So if we just use this exact same code, but replaced all these values with the correct class names, we can call this button. So we're going to get the incorrect value because, well, I'll show you first with the correct indexes that are supposed to be showing. So if I click on 2, oh, I forgot to change item to button. And if we look here, this is supposed to be item because this displays any of the buttons with that same class name, and because we're assigning this onClick function, it's supposed to be assigned to this value or parameter. So 0, 0, 0. So it's giving us the value of 0. And the reason is that's actually the correct value, but because the parent element of this clicked value is now this div, this inner wrapper, and this is the outer wrapper. So it is the first value which gives an index of 0, but what we want is this div's relation to this. So this dot parent element gives us this div, dot parent element gives us this div, dot children, which gives us these divs. And then what we want to find is the index of this div in relation to this outer div. So what would we need to change? We would need to change this value to this dot parent element, because we're finding the index of the parent element in relation to the parent of that parent element. So if we try again, it should give us the correct value, 1, 0, 3. So that's how to use ES6 destructuring, which is the term used to break down this block of code and finding the index of those Trojan elements. And I hope that was helpful, and thanks for watching.